Tomorrow night, President Trump is formally launching his re-election campaign in Orlando, Florida. And as I said, the crowd is already lining up 40 hours early. But the usual suspects in the media were falling all over themselves to preemptively rain on the rally. And they think that President Trump's ABC News interview with George Stephanopoulos gave them their opening.
The President of the United States has abdicated his oath of office. He did it just the other day on George Stephanopoulos' interview. He's not protecting the national security interests of the United States. He's not committed to protecting our election integrity and security.
Yes, he is. And as we explained last week in The Angle, that argument is absurd. Now, in fact, in many critical areas, the Trump administration has taken a tougher stance against Russia than the Obama administration has done. We've documented that show after show. But none of that matters when the reporter asking the questions has an agenda, even if he's amiable in the process. The agenda, namely, to resuscitate and revisit the Mueller report. And even, by the way, when the president expresses minor annoyance not related to Russia or Mueller, they try to make him out to be the bad guy.
At some point, I hope they get it, because it's a fantastic financial statement. It's a fantastic financial statement. And let's do that over. He's coughing in the middle of my answer.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like that, you know?
Your chief of staff.
If you're going to cough, please leave the room.
Get a shot of, and I'll come over here.
You just can't.
Just to change the shot.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, do you want to do that a little differently then?
Yeah, we just changed the angle.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
So at some point, I look forward to, frankly, I'd like to have people see my financial statement.
Now, everyone who does TV knows, if they're honest, that was lousy form for Stephanopoulos not to stop the cameras from rolling and to air that entire exchange. But hey, anything to advance the Trump's mean narrative.
The last part there is so telling, where he kind of does as though he has been wronged in some meaningful way by his chief of staff coughing.
Or maybe it was all a plot.
One theory I read, and I didn't even think about it from this perspective, but given the subject and the sensitivity surrounding his tax returns, somebody pointed out that maybe it was Mick Mulvaney trying to save the president and not trying to create a soundbite that could be used later on for ABC.
Coughgate. More goofiness. How many times have I said that to Raymond, by the way? Stop coughing. I mean, we were just howling when this happened. Now, let's all get serious here, though. Tomorrow in Orlando, the president has a chance to just relaunch this campaign and just hit every note. And I think part of it is just kind of shrugging off the inclination to relitigate every past issue, insult, tweet, investigation. And the best way to frame all of this is, look at what we've been able to accomplish even with 2 years of the Russia hoax.
You've got the stock market flirting with record highs when you have this near record low unemployment. We have GDP growth continuing at better than expected rates.
Under Obama Biden, 200,000 manufacturing jobs were lost. And under President Trump, in just 3 years, 450,000 manufacturing jobs have been added.
Unemployment is the lowest it's been here in the United States since 1969. Job growth is strong. Hourly wages are up.
That should just be the playlist for Trump 2020. If any other president were doing the things Trump is doing for this economy, for jobs, for workers, taking on China, most in the media would be throwing rose petals in a parade every time he showed up. I mean, who else has worked so diligently, despite congressional inaction, to lower prescription drug prices?
We're promoting price transparency to force competition and drive down costs, and that's what's happening, and that's one of the reasons we're getting the drug prices stopping from those tremendous increases that have taken effect for so many years. For so many decades, they've been going only in one direction, up.
Who else has cut regulations like this president has to unburden American businesses? Who else has recognized and responded to the crisis at the border like Trump? Using the threat of tariffs and diplomatic pressure, Trump's even gotten Mexico to step up finally on their immigration enforcement.
President Trump's new immigration deal with Mexico starting to show an impact. Some 6,000 Mexican soldiers now deployed here along the country's southern border with Guatemala, stopping some coming in on rafts, as well as some larger caravans, including a group of trucks carrying some 800 migrants stopped near the Texas border over the weekend.
Well, but for Trump, they all would have surely made it to the U.S. border. And who else has stood up to the Chinese on the world stage to end the ongoing Beijing-orchestrated ripoff of American industries and intellectual property? Only Trump. And I haven't even talked about criminal justice reform, tax reform, renegotiating NAFTA to benefit American workers, judicial appointments. And the only response from Democrats who are running for president is Russia, identity politics, demonizing wealth creators, and, of course, the go-to, we'll give you free stuff.
Every American, regardless of his or her income, is entitled to the right to a decent job that pays a living wage.
Technical school, 2-year college, 4-year public college, all fee-free and tuition-free for all of our kids.
I think that anyone who is in a situation where they're in need of health care, regardless of whether they're documented or undocumented, we have an obligation to see that they're cared for.
Well, they leave out the part where you're going to pay through the nose for all of this. While the government makes more decisions for you, your family, and your business, that means less freedom. Well, Trump needs to remind America that if they send Bernie or Elizabeth or even Uncle Joe to the White House, the Democrat socialists will eventually run out of other people's money. And what happens then? The country's economy will crumble into an abyss of mediocrity.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
That's how I feel. And on a serious note, the Trump re-election message should be simple. Do you want to keep the good times going and make America even stronger? Are you better off than you were in January 2017? Some of you may not like some of Trump's tweets, but you're going to hate what Democrats will do to the prosperity that his policies have created. And that's The Angle.